Let's talk about, is it worth it to sell digital products on Etsy? My name's LaCresha. I've been selling digital products on Etsy since 2022. I'm just going to share with you my results that I've had working on my Etsy shop as a homeschooling stay-at-home mom. So I work very limited time on my Etsy shop. I only work when my kids are sleeping. So sometimes that might be 10 hours a week. Sometimes that's 0 hours a week. And so I'm going to share with you the results that I've had with an Etsy shop that I barely touch. And so I have 9 questions that I get commonly. And so I'm going to answer those questions for you just in case you've been wondering, is it worth it to sell on Etsy? What are the pros and cons? All of that good stuff. So let's hop into question number 1, and that is, how much can I realistically make selling digital products on Etsy? And to give you that answer, I'm just going to go into my analytics and show you what I've been making selling digital products on Etsy. Okay, so here we are in my Etsy dashboard. I'm going to go over to my stats and show you what I made the very first full month on Etsy. So my first full calendar month on Etsy was October of 2022. So I'm going to pull that up for you. Okay, so here we are in my stats. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to do this in real time so you can see like these are my actual numbers. And so when I go to custom, and we are going to do, so October 1st, 2022 through October, yep, 31st. Okay, so we're doing from October 1st, 2022 through October 31st, 2022, which would have been my first full calendar month selling digital products on Etsy. So we can see here I made $315 my very first month on Etsy, and this was with maybe 2 or 3 products in my shop. So I still only have 40 products in my shop to this day. So I've never been one to like be uploading a lot of products at one time. So this was just with a very limited amount of digital products. And so let me show you what I made the next month. So if we go over to, so let's do, yeah, November 1st. So November 1st, 2022 through November 30th. So this was my second full month on Etsy. So it went from 315 to 1,318. So about $1,000 more the next month. So October was my first month, November was my second month, and then let's go to the third month, which was December. So December 1st through December 31st. So we went from 1,300 to 2,400. So those were like my first 90 days selling digital products on Etsy. And those were my numbers. So the revenue is up here. You can see all my stats. So that is how much I made selling digital products on Etsy. And people ask me, like, how did I do that? And it was because I made a trending product. And so I always teach my students that I work with to start with either trending or seasonal products, because that's how you're going to make the most money quickly, because those are products that have super low competition, but a lot of people are looking for them. And so I recommend starting with trending or seasonal products. And that's how I was able to make over like $3,000 or $4,000 my first 90 days selling digital products on Etsy. Okay, let's go into question number 2, and that is, how long does it take to make your first sale? And so, of course, that's going to vary. But like I said, I listed my very first product, I think it was in September. So let me see. And let me clarify too. I opened my Etsy shop in like 2020, but I had like a 2020 calendar. It was very basic and it never sold. So I don't even count that as me starting my Etsy shop. Like I just listed that product and I never logged in again until 2022. So that's when I would say that I actually started my Etsy shop, because I was just listed a product and it never sold and I didn't care. I literally forgot all about it. When I got serious about Etsy, it was September of 2022. Let me start at the 19th, and let's see. And let's go take this back to September, because, or we'll take it through October. Yeah, let's do through October 5th, or we'll do through October 10th, because it was sometime in there when I made my first sale. Orders. So let's click orders. So yeah, so I listed my very first product September 24th of 2022, and I made my first sale, which was 2 sales, on October 3rd. So from the 24th, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 days it took me to make my very first sale. So that's how long it took me to make a sale. I can't say how long it's going to take you to make a sale because it really depends on the product you choose to create. You need to be making sure that it is high search volume, low competition. That's going to help you make sales faster. If you're SEO, you need to make sure that's on point so people can actually find your product. You need to make sure you have good listing photos so that your product stands out and people actually want to buy it. So there's a lot of factors that go into when you'll make your first sale. And those are the things that I really focus on inside of the sales sprint, where I teach people how to make sales on Etsy selling digital products. Like that's all we focus on. Depending on how well you have those things dialed in, is how quickly you will make your first sale. Okay, let's go into question 3. What types of digital products sell best on Etsy? Those are going to be either trending or seasonal products. And people always want to know, what should I sell? You want to sell products that, one, people are searching for, two, people are buying, period. Like that's it. People need to be searching for the product and people need to be buying the product. So how do you know if people are searching for them? You go over to Etsy, you type in a product. So let me share my screen again. So we go over to Etsy, type in, just go to Etsy.com, type in some type of product idea. So like Halloween invitation, random product, and you want to see bestseller, popular now. That's what you want to see. This means people are buying this product. Look at all these popular now and bestseller badges. So that is what you want to see. The first page needs to be full of popular now or bestseller badges. That means that people are actually buying this product right now. And I use eRank to see if people are searching for these products. So let me show you eRank. So this is my eRank dashboard. Let's go over here. We'll type in something. Do Halloween invitation again. And so whenever I look for a digital product idea that has a high search volume and low competition, I am looking for, so for the average searches, it needs to be more than 300 searches per month. And for the competition, I want it less than 20,000. So see how this is red? That means that this product is, or this keyword is way too competitive. And so you want to scroll down and find, I like to sort by the competition. So I get the lowest competition first. And so I'm just looking through here until I find something that has more than 300 searches. So Halloween birthday invitation, it has more than 300 searches, but it still has more than the 20,000 competition that I like to stay under. That's how I find my product ideas. I just find things that have more than 300 searches, less than 20,000 competition. And so that's going to have a high search volume and low competition. And that's how you stand out on Etsy so that people can find your products faster. Okay, let's go into question number 4. Do I need design skills or expensive tools to create digital products? I'm going to stop sharing my screen again. And the answer to that is no, you do not need design skills or expensive tools. For your design skills, I like to use Canva and I like to list done for you digital products, or PLR, private label rights, digital products. Those are products that someone has already created and they are giving you the right to resell this product as if you created it. So all you have to do is go in to Canva, edit the product, and then you can list it as if you created it on Etsy. So you do not need design skills. I highly recommend you do not create your own digital products from scratch because that can take you weeks, if not months, to start getting products listed in your Etsy shop. So I recommend you use done for you digital products, edit them in Canva, list them in your Etsy shop, and that way you can start getting products into your shop, and that's going to increase your chances of getting sales. The more products you have in your shop, you're increasing your chances of getting sales, but they need to be high quality products. You don't just want to list a bunch of crap in your shop and then complain that you're not getting sales. You actually want to take your time with your listing photos, your SEO, and make sure that you're doing high quality listing photos and products so that you can get sales quickly. Okay, question number 5 is, how do I stand out among other sellers on Etsy? So to stand out with other sellers on Etsy, you need to make sure, first of all, that you have the high search volume, low competition products. That's going to be the fastest way to stand out. And then the second way is to make sure that you are really taking your time with your listing photos so that they really portray why your product is different from the other similar products. So you want to be selling products that people are already buying. Like that's going to be the easiest way. Sell things that people are already buying. So you're going to go on there, whatever it is that you're looking for. So let's share my screen again. We go back over to Etsy so we can see people are already buying Halloween invitations. And so what you want to do is just do some type of variation of the invitation, just make it your own. And so that's going to be the way to stand out. And then you're going to make sure your listing photos look different than these. See how all of these look different? Some of them just have the invitation on them. This one has the spooky looking background. This one has the phone and it printed out, so you can see you can use it different ways. This one has it on a phone. So just make sure your listing photos show all of the different ways that your product can be used and why your product is different from the other products that are already listed on Etsy. And so that's going to be your best way to stand out so that you can start making sales. Okay, let's go into question number 6. What are the fees associated with selling on Etsy and how do they affect profits? So the fees, let me actually share with you the Etsy website so you can see the fees. Okay, so on the Etsy website, they tell you the fees that you'll have to pay. So you have a one-time shop setup fee, and I've seen this actually varies from person to person. So I've seen some people pay $15, some people pay $29. That was the highest that I've seen. So anywhere I've seen someone pay $18. So it's usually what I see is between the $15 to $29 mark is what people are paying in fees, and that's one time. So just a one-time setup fee. And then you have 20 cents per listing. So anytime you list a product, you pay 20 cents, and every time that product sells, Etsy just takes 20 cents out of the sale of that product. So if your product does not sell, then every 4 months, they will charge you 20 cents per product. So 20 cent listing fee. So when you open your shop and you start listing your products, every single product you list, you'll pay 20 cents for that product. And then you have your 6.5% transaction fee. This is pretty standard. Even when I had my Shopify store, I still paid the transaction fee. So they take that out, and then they have this 3% plus 25-cent processing fee. And so that's something else they'll just take out. Now, this is based on like your product price. So if you have a product that's $12, this is what's going to be taken out. Your 20-cent fee, your 20-cent listing fee, 6.5%, 3% plus this 25 cent. And then if you have offsite ads, then you'll have 15% for offsite ads, but you don't always have offsite ads when you're just a beginner. But I think after you make like $10,000, I think it is, then you're automatically enrolled in offsite ads. So I do have offsite ads, but again, it's only when you make a sale. So these aren't things that they just like charge you. Like, let's say you have a Shopify, you pay like the $39 a month, whether you make sales or not. With Etsy, you're just getting charged when you make a sale, unless it's this 20-cent listing fee that they'll charge. So if you haven't had any sales, then you'll have the 20-cent listing fee in 4 months. Typically, you're only going to get charged when you make a sale. I'm going to stop sharing my screen again. Okay, let's go into question 7. Is it really passive income or does it require ongoing work? So it does require some ongoing work, just to make sure that like your tags are still up to date, your SEO is still like what people are actively searching for, which you can do that like every like 3 to 6 months minimum. So I would definitely go in and update it like 3 to 6 months, make sure your tags are still relevant, your product title, all of that stuff is still relevant. And as far as the passive income, there are times when I stopped selling on Etsy and I started my Shopify store, I just left my products on Etsy because they were selling, so why would I take them off? But I was actively promoting my products on Shopify. I mean, I was like making TikTok videos, posting on Instagram. I had a YouTube channel for my products for my Shopify store, and my Etsy shop still made more, like sometimes quadruple what I made on Shopify, and I was not touching my Etsy shop. So I opened my Shopify store in November of 2023. And for November, December, for November, December, and January, my Etsy store made quadruple what I made on Shopify. And I did not touch my Etsy shop at all. For all of those months, I did not touch my Etsy shop, and it still made way more than my Shopify store that I was actively promoting every single day. And so I think it's pretty passive. Even when I'm not touching my shop, it still makes sales every single day. So it is passive, but you just want to make sure you're going in there, replying to messages that like any customer may send you and updating your SEO. But I go months without adding products into my shop and I still make sales. So to me, it is a very passive source of income because Etsy is promoting the products for me. And so it does require some minimal ongoing work, but it is a pretty passive income stream. Okay, question 8. Can I start selling digital products without a large following or social media presence? And the answer is 100% yes. I do not promote my Etsy shop, my Etsy products on social media at all. And I've still been able to make over 4,000 sales on Etsy with absolutely no social media. So you definitely can make sales on Etsy without social media. And that's why I love Etsy so much, is because it just does its own thing while I'm living my life. And so, like, Etsy is doing all the hard work for me. All I have to do is, make sure my SEO is good, make sure that I'm adding products that have a high search volume and low competition, make sure my listing photos are good, and it pretty much does its own thing. So you do not need a social media presence to sell on Etsy. And then question 9 is, what happens if my products don't sell? So if your products do not sell, you will just have to pay that 20-cent listing fee per product in 4 months. And that's it. Like, you'll just have to pay your 20-cent listing fee. So I can do maybe a quick calculation for you. So let's say you have 20 products and you have to pay a 20-cent listing fee per product. If my math is correct, you'll just pay $4 and that's it. So that's what happens if your products don't sell. You just keep them on there and you'll have to pay that 20-cent listing fee in 4 months per product that hasn't sold. So if your product hasn't sold in 4 months, you would have to pay the 20-cent listing fee. And that's it. You could just keep them on there even longer. And what I would recommend is making sure you're going in and updating those products so that they can sell, because something is obviously not working. If you haven't made a sale in 4 months, then something is off with your products. Like, either you're choosing bad products, SEO is off, listing photos aren't very good. So something is going on if you haven't made a sale within 4 months. And if you don't know how to make sales on Etsy, that's why I created the sales sprint that walks you through the exact process of choosing your products, getting views to your products, making sure those viewers turn into customers. And so that's all we focus on in the sales sprint. You can look at it in the description if you want more details, but that is the process that I use to make sales on Etsy. It's a very straightforward. So those are the most common questions I get about, is it worth it to sell on Etsy? I 100% think it is. The fees are not that bad. They're pretty low compared to somewhere like Shopify, where you'd still have to pay, your transaction fee. You'd still have to pay that monthly fee of like $39. That's like their basic plan. And you have to pay that whether you make a sale or not. And I love that with Etsy, I'm getting charged when I make a sale. So they're just taking the money out of the sale. So if I make $0 for that month, then I don't have to pay anything for Etsy because they take the listing fees and all of that out of the order. With Shopify or Stan Store or something, you're responsible for your monthly payment, whether you make sales or not. I like that the fees are pretty low compared to, other platforms. I like that I don't have to promote my own products. Etsy will do all the promoting for me. It's pretty simple to use, straightforward to get your shop set up. So I 100% think that it's worth it, especially if you are brand new to selling digital products and you're just really wanting to figure out how it all works and just find a simple way to get started. It's very easy to get in there, get products listed, and Etsy will do the promoting for you if you know how to do your SEO. And if you don't know how to do your SEO, I have a video where I break down SEO for you and tell you how to do it. I think it's worth it, but if you have any questions, let me know in the description and I will talk to you later.